Obrigado, delegado Rados. I'm really happy to be here today. My name is Mo, they call me Mo from Egypt. And I'm really happy to be among this great company and great members of this great event. Today I'm going to talk about TVET program and TVET development. I will show different strategic points, but also I will play some interactive, so I need all of your interaction with me. I have a company and also I work for governmental sector. I have my company called QMP Training and Consultancy, and also I work for governmental sector, so I was a vice president, I was assistant for the civil aviation minister in Egypt. Now, my agenda would be from history. I will talk about history from Egypt and TVET program and German-Egyptian cooperation, modern vocational education, and finally we will get a recommendation. And we have a very focal point that we need to start with is the sustainable goals of United Nations. Thanks God that we have here somebody from United Nations expertise, that he will really provide us with the enlightenment of United Nations, and now he's working for European Union, and he really told us a very good lesson about water treatment in United Nations. He's my godfather. So, if you talk about Egypt, anybody knows anything about Egypt? Pyramid, pyramids. Who agreed the pyramids are something related to Egypt? Egypt, pyramid, pyramid. Who built the pyramids? Egyptian workers. How they built the pyramid? Art, piece of art, professional. How you could collect people to be professional workers? So, you know, we say in proverb, if you cook dirty food, nobody will eat it. If you cook a nice food, everybody will be there. So how the pyramid lasts for 8,000 years. I'm going to start from the history and coming to the modernity. This paint was made 3,500 years ago with this color. How come that if the painters were in expertise, that it could last 3,500 years with the same colors? And made the most beautiful tomb in the Valley Queens in Egypt. So the start of TVET program started very strong since long history in Egypt. To train and develop the workers in Egypt. It was the method to use professional workers in building the ancient Egyptian world. This is the first fact. Now, I have a second fact that I need everybody to know. Everything is relative. So, all theories and postulations and all theories and models and postulations are wrong. Because X plus Y would never be Z. But we have to know this theory and make a constant in order to solve the equation, to create our own model that fit with us now in this environment for these people at this time. It will not fit for tomorrow, it will not fit for yesterday, it fit now. And that's the model that everybody, you will send your exchange student to Germany, to Egypt, to everywhere to learn. And we will send to learn. But who are able to achieve the model of best learning in TVET program is the people from this environment. Let's play a small certain game. Learning process is a process or capability. So everybody need to know about learning. Everything is relative, with no clear right or wrong. But you need to make a clear point of your view. I should convince you or you convince me. Learning is a process or capability. It's inherited or acquired. I need answers, please. Any answers? Both.
Acquired and inherited.
What else? Anybody else? Acquired. Anybody else? Learning is a capability or a process? Inherited or acquired? Believe me, there is no right and wrong. And I will prove to you now that this is all right, what you are saying. Okay? How many persons here can speak Japanese? How many persons can speak Japanese? Yeah. Nobody can speak Japanese. What do you think as a Korean? What do you think that I can say by heart a Korean number from 1 to 10? How long it will take me to teach you to teach me the Korean number from 1 to 10 to say it by heart and never make mistake? Huh? 1 hour? 2 hours? 1 day? Are you sure that I will not forget it? No, I'm just assume with me, put your imagination, don't put technology now. I know that with technology everything is possible. But we are assuming something that your capabilities could be, learning capabilities could be changed. So my first point is about learning. Inherited, acquired, skill, talent, or process. And this is what I'm going to prove at this moment. Open your mind. Think with me about this house. This is your house. Where you live now. At the first, when you enter, there is a flea. What's the flea means? Itchy. The flea, when it bites you, it makes what? Itchy. Save this. When you enter the house room, there was a flea waiting for you. It bites you. So it's not what? Itchy. Just remember the sequence of the information. Then we met a baby in the first stair. If you climb the stairs, the baby was crouched on his knee. We call it what? Knee. So, flea, biting you, make itching, then a baby, crowning on his knee, we call it knee. Then we go to the elevator. You open the door of the elevator, you found sun. So we give a nickname to the sun, we call it sand. Again, do you remember what? From the start it was what? Itching. Yeah, flea make itching, and then baby was crowding in his knee, and then sand. First floor we opened, we found a beautiful lady. This is one of the Egyptian actresses I use. Her name is called Yosra, and we always give nicknames to our actress. We call it Yom. Then you open the door, you knock the door, the first floor, you found a welcome and a sign called go. Then in the living room, you found a raccoon. We came with a raccoon. We call it Roku. You know the raccoon, yeah? Everybody is familiar with the raccoon.
Yeah, we have to also.
Then I went to the hall, and then I found a slippery cheese. I got slipped, and it was cheesy. Can you repeat it again from the beginning? Huh? Please. H. Then me. Remember it, and you memorize it, imagine with me. Baby meet me, and then you open the elevator, you found sand. Then you go to the first floor, you found a beautiful lady, curvy lady called Yusra, we call it Yon. Then you knock the door, then there is a sign go to enter. Then you go to the living room, you found what? Now before the slippery door, the raccoon. The raccoon that was sitting there, waiting for you. When you was walking on the hall, you found a slippery cheese. So it's what? Cheese. Then I entered the kitchen and I found some pepper and I make hachi. Then I go to the toilet, I found Queen Elizabeth. We call it Q. Most important is to love. Most important is not to be stressed. Most important is learning capabilities to enjoy. Then I go to my room, I found a Jewish person sitting in my room on my bed, and he called Joe. Again, could you please mention to me this situation in your villa? First, Itchy, then Ni, then San, then I go to the first floor, I found Yon, then Go, then Rakon, then Sishi, then Q, then Hachi, then Jo. Can you repeat them? Anybody can repeat them. Can you repeat them? Anybody can repeat them. So, Itchy, Ni, then San, then Yon, Go, Rakon, what else? Sishi, Hachi, and then Q, and then what? No. Now you get the 10 learning new capabilities of your educational system in TVET program. It's all about innovation and creativity and using the professor. So what interested me in Professor Stefan in Germany when I met him is integration. The integration of your professor with the students. We always used to learn that learning is one way. The professor comes and threw the things to the students. It was never been like that. It's an interactive learning. I always give training, telling my student 2 important information and 2 important rules. First, if I didn't learn from you, I'm a failure. As a professor for my students. Second, all the information that I have provided you is false and wrong. Why? Because it was made yesterday or 1 week before. There's a new technology, new updated information. Everybody needs to share and build this information. People think that I'm crazy, but this is the reality. Reality that information every day, who got the information, got the know-how, got the technology, got the success. So I prove to you that you can learn in 10 minutes this methodology. I can prove to you that it is wrong. Now, and I can prove to you that it's acquired, and I can prove to you it's inherited, I can prove it is talent. It's all about the way that you choose to prove your point of view. 5 minutes? Our experiment in Egypt started very early, as you have seen, but the new modern Egypt started from here. The first stream was Napoleon Bonaparte. Who knows Napoleon Bonaparte? When he came to Egypt, he wanted to build a modern Egyptian like yours. A modern Egypt like yours. The second stream came with someone called Muhammad Ali. He was a sultan in Egypt that he came from Albania. And then the third stream also came with Muhammad Ali's successors. The fourth stream came from Azhar education, various European education. Azhar was somehow conservative education versus to European education that entered to my country. The fifth stream entered with Egyptian universities, starting with Cairo University. The sixth educational stream started with the European professors exchanged with the Egyptian universities. And we can see here in the curve the contribution of Germany, France, and England as much as the highest, and now also Italy. Italy started to play a very important role with Egypt as well. It started with something like I have seen a very important role in China and in Egypt. How is that? The contribution that China technicians, and somehow they became to be professional, and then they became to be engineers in the engineering process. In Egypt, we had the same mentality of Darsakhana. Darsakhana technical education was somehow, yes. Darsakhana it was a technical school. Darsakhana. It begins in 1829, teaching the student fundamental of agriculture, fundamental of the industry. Later on, this Darsakhana moved to be a university of engineering. So if you talk to me about the importance of TVET program, TVET program could also contribute in the university education. We can see here a case study from Egypt. Long time ago, we had a problem at Muhammad Ali time that was we had too much street children. He collected all of them and taught them two things: handicraft and language. So the success of this story started from 300,000 child from the street. You can put them in prison and it make problem to the country. He solved it out the root cause analysis. He made a root cause analysis and to create a success story. He arrested them all through the military and made first morality comes first before education. So he teaches them morality, how to behave. And then he teaches them language so they can learn with it. And then he teaches them professionality. And then he sent them abroad to learn much more, to be a master of, and under them some skilled worker to teach them, like trainer, like so they can be a teacher. With the behavior, with this new behavior and language and soft skills and technical skills, we reach to professional. We reach it at this time to professional hand worker and handcrafts in Egypt to build the modern Egypt. My conclusion here, behavior and moral aspect must be attached to technical aspect. Six Sigma was to improve the quality of the street children. So when we talk about the street children, we use Six Sigma. Sustainable Six Sigma. What's sustainable Six Sigma? We use social, ecological, and economical aspects. We use lean approach by solve the human resource waste and reduce the cost of production. We use agile. What's agile? It's project management approach involve the break of project into phases. As you have seen, there are phases, there were phases. Forming a concept to create a model of innovation to achieve a success story. You need to build a success story, pilot project, a small successful story in order to show to the other in marketing and branding model it's a success story here in my country. And the learning outcome that you have seen, young and talent, early start, grow smart, and little, like we say, little pot is soon hot. If you knock the rock at the young age, you can make a change. Respect. So nowadays in Egypt we have a problem of respect in TVET schools. But before we hadn't had this, there must have respect. Filtration of the people who enter the vocational schools need to be a talent pool. For masters and then qualification of candidates to teach the others. Creating value and connecting them in a system. Who knows Lego? Lego. What's about Lego? Lego is never a success story unless Lego made a story. So Lego was a failure in Netherlands unless Lego built a story that connects the disconnected part together. People in vocational training need to have a good income and establish a model to the society. We were street people and then we are now, we have values now. Educate students to admit that learning path leads them to discover themselves. Make the students themselves have challenges and self-improve. Reward and success. People involved in the TVET program need to work together and agree on who is doing what. system need to be created to gather and transfer information about labor market.
para unir y compartir la información con la palabra.
Finally, teamwork and collaboration.
En primer lugar, el trabajo en equipo y colaboración.
A new problem that we have seen in Egypt, that every minister, every person entitled come and want to remove what happened behind him and want to make his changes, his system. We need to have long-term vision that every person in the ministry come and apply these steps as pillars or milestones for the best of TVET program. To achieve the sustainable goals of TVET program. Thank you. It was much more longer, but Professor Stephen told me to stop.